Dear friends, I would like to take a few moments, few minutes, and reflect, share my understanding on the recently issued document by the Southern Baptist community, the Southern Baptist Convention, a document that actually comes with a resolution. It's titled On Justice and Peace in the Aftermath of the October 7th attack on Israel. And first of all, what I would like to say is that this is a very manipulative and dishonest document, full of spiritual, I would even say Orwellian language of spiritual gaslighting, and full of spiritual vagueness, at the level of those documents that do not say anything of substance, but they always finish with thoughts and prayers. Why is it manipulative and dishonest? Because it comes with an elaborate introduction that sets up the stage for their resolution, and it plays the entire blame for whatever is happening in Israel right now on what happened on October the 7th last year. No one with a clear mind or thinking will deny that what Hamas did on the October the 7th last year was a terrorist act, an awful and disgusting terrorist act. But by actually majoring only on what happened on the October the 7th, this document actually twists the arguments. And as a result, you do not have in this document at all the Palestinian people being mentioned, let alone Palestinian Christians, which are only placed or mentioned in one just passing comment. So what is happening here is that this document completely ignores the real situation on the ground. It ignores that since October the 7th, Israel has systematically, on a daily basis, day and night, committing awful and disgusting atrocities with impunity against the Palestinian people, shifting them within this small space of Gaza from one place to another, and back this way and that way, always promising that it is going to be safe if they move there, only to bombard them the next moment. We are talking about thousands and thousands of people killed deliberately. No one can convince me, my friends, that over 30,000 or 40,000 or 50,000 of dead people, most of them civilians and most of them women and children, that is a simple collateral damage, a normal damage of a war situation. Let's just think, I don't have statistics here, but they are easily accessible, that in this last 9 months, throughout Gaza, such a destruction has taken place that this place has been practically obliterated. The health care is almost non-existent because the hospitals have been destroyed, schools have been destroyed, safe havens have been destroyed. Anything that represents that country has been destroyed systematically. If you want to really know what is happening, there are recordings available on the internet that will graphically give you a picture of what this conflict really looks like. I was only the other day watching a video recorded by Israeli soldiers, and there are many of those, and they're outside of a mosque, and they're wishing a blessed, peaceful Shabbat to their own people, because they are going for a fund now to blast the mosque. And they're saying no more prayers on Friday. They're giving a disgusting announcement that they're going to destroy that mosque for fun. And by this video, they're wishing Shabbat Shalom to their own people. This is only one illustration. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of documented videos of children being killed, documented videos of people deliberately being shot, documented videos of mass bombardments that are destroying systematically anything and everything. The consequences, psychological consequences alone of this war, conflict, aggression on the people of Palestine are going to be huge. And I'm building this picture and I'm sharing this with you because this document has no room to acknowledge that not only Hamas, and I'm making a distinction between Hamas and the Palestinian people because no one should really agree with what Hamas is doing, but no one can put a blame on the entire nation. You cannot blame the whole nation. This document says that no equivalences can be made between what Hamas did and what Israel is doing. My friends, Israel has outdone number of times what Hamas did on October the 7th last year. And they've done it every single day. And they're treating Palestinian people as if they are not people. It is not only that Hamas has been threatening Israel with some ridiculous statements, it is that the Israeli leaders have issued repeatedly statements also, statements of intent to obliterate the Palestinian people completely from the beginning to the end. And this document does not in any way recognize the real situation on the ground. And that the character of what Israel is doing right now is just as evil and even more so, certainly at this time. This document doesn't have a place for this. Palestinian people do not exist in this document. Palestinian Christians practically do not exist either. They are just mentioned by the way. Palestinian Christians in Gaza, in the West Bank, and in the Israel proper, those who can are doing everything they can to communicate the message of their suffering to the world. And evangelical Christians do not hear them. And this document is the crown document that this is so, because it's issued by the largest evangelical denomination in this country, in the USA. This is simply such a humiliation, such a pretense that those people do not matter, they do not exist, and that the only thing that matters is Israel, and giving an unconditional support to Israel, and blaming basically every criticism as being anti-Semitic, because this document is also concerned about the rise of anti-Semitism. And yes, my friends, yes, anti-Semitism has increased, but not everything is anti-Semitism. Criticizing Israel, the impunity by which they are killing Palestinians, is not anti-Semitism or anti-Semitism. It's a very much needed criticism. There is no room for this in this document. But giving unconditional support, promising that unconditional support, and spiritualizing away, putting spiritual biblical text as if they are actually enhancing all what they're saying and leading them towards their conclusion, is obscene. And I'm not, and no one should be actually surprised. I'm upset when I'm reading such a document issued by a Christian community, but I'm not surprised, and no one should actually be surprised, because such a document is grounded on faulty, on false, and on lethal theology. Southern Baptist says that they're not having a specific theology on the issue of Israel, but the fact is that at least on the populist level, as it is the case across evangelical denominations, that their theology is based on understanding that actually This Israel that was established in 1948 is the very result of God's promise, and that it plays a crucial role in setting the stage for the Christ's second coming. So therefore, they have to unconditionally support Israel, because by blessing Israel, they will be blessed themselves. By blessing Israel, they are doing God's work. Anti-right has very clearly said that all the promises are yes in Christ and not in the fulfillment of the return of the literal, geographical, political Israel. That's a subject for another discussion. Definitely according to the New Testament, definitely according to the proper understanding of the covenant, new covenant in Christ. God has not issued a special blessing upon Israel now in his name to harass the neighbors and do whatever they want to do without anyone being able to criticize them. That's not God's working. But the reason behind this document, the reasoning, the ideology behind this theology is that whatever is happening there is by God's design, fulfilling of prophecies, announcing the soon return of Christ. And definitely they want to be part of this project. And that this ideology is then blinding them about the reality on the ground. Everything that doesn't fit that kind of paradigm doesn't exist, or simply it's not true, or simply doesn't matter, or simply whatever Israel is doing at this time is just fine. That's the spiritual and ideological reasoning behind this document, just as much as behind the attitude of the millions and millions of American evangelical Christians. And there's a connection between this and the attitude of America's government towards this situation. Lack of decision to basically say firmly to Israel, it's enough, because many, many leaders in America who are governing this country actually are believing the same theological nonsense. And it's guiding them in their decisions. And that's why I said this is all based on a lethal theology, because the consequences are measured in the loss of life of the thousands and thousands and thousands of people who simply, it seems, do not matter. And I just want to mention one more point too. It might be shocking that this document doesn't have a room for Palestinian Christians, but it's not surprising because it fits the same paradigm. But it is offensive to Palestinian Christians. And I would like to encourage you, my friends and brothers and sisters, open your ears, pay attention to what Palestinian Christians are saying. Hear their stories. Hear where they are in all of this, whatever is happening right now. And hear the stories about how their pleas are being ignored when they're visiting this country and they're trying to tell their evangelical Protestant brothers and sisters about the real situation. So I'm finishing with this and saying that, therefore, it is not a surprise that this document is giving unconditional, uncritical, and unfair support for Israel, and does not allow room for any questioning and criticism, but is simply offering at the end an encouragement to Southern Baptists to pray diligently for a peaceful resolution to the war and all affected by warfare, petitioning God for wisdom, protection, and the ultimate blessing of a just and lasting peace among nations. My friends, Southern Baptists, how do you expect such a prayer to be heard and fulfilled when you, with your document, are gaslighting, manipulating, and are totally dishonest towards the situation on the ground. Thank you very much for listening and watching.